Trin here. So I finally moved all my orchids and my other plants indoors into my greenhouse, and I know there have been some requests to have me update you on the greenhouse, and we changed our times to because we observe daylight saving. So whenever I get home from work at 5:30, it is pitch dark. I cannot do any videos at all. So today is Saturday. I'm able to do some videos. I just wanted to show you what the greenhouse looks like right now. It's still a really big work in progress. So here is one side of the greenhouse. I'm not able to get everything, but I'll just show you what I can. So this one is on the right side of the greenhouse. You can see I have some shelves here. I have 3 shelves here, and my dad was under the impression, of course, that I didn't need that many shelves, but he didn't realize I had so many plants until I filled up all the shelves. So, of course, I need to get a fan, or actually several fans in here other than this one. This is just temporary for now. And so I have all my phals here. What I'm going to do is actually put in another 16-inch shelf down here, and I'll move all my phals down here because they require less light than my Cattleyas and Dendrobiums and Oncidiums, which are sitting up a little bit higher. This is actually my what is it? My sphagnum, or actually not sphagnum, I'm sorry, my Spanish moss that I kind of gave up on, and it hasn't died yet, which is really surprising, but it was just getting too hard to keep it alive because of the lack of humidity, but it's hung on for dear life since April. So I have a bunch of phals here. I didn't realize I had so many phals, so I might just have to give them away at some point because they are just too many. This one was a rescue, and my mom brought this back for me, and in a group of about 6 or 8, and they all died because they were all in really bad shape except for this one. And you can see there's a little flower spike there. I haven't been able to go through every single orchid to see what their progress are, but I just wanted to show you that one because that's the one that I saw progress on. So up here, my dad, of course, decided that the 12-inch shelves would be enough. Well, little did he know. So these are 12-inch shelves. They're a little bit shorter, and you can see my Cattleyas and some other Dendrobiums are here. And I have been looking for these types of trays, but I haven't had any luck finding them at a reasonable price. And even in stores, I really just cannot find them. And I've seen some at Home Depot, but they wouldn't give them to me, or they wouldn't sell them to me. So I have little paths here. I think I really want to move my paths in with my phals, but there's just no space right now. And I have my Maxillaria, Tenafolia, and all my Cattleyas and stuff. And here there's more space in terms of putting the blooming flowers. So I have these that are currently in bloom up here. So I have my Zygos and my Oncidium and so forth. And my blooming phal was too tall, so it had to sit there. And my Dendrobiums are up here as well, because some of them are really tall. This is a actually recently acquired plant as of today. This is a Bromeliad, and I got it on sale. It was $10. I think there are little pups down below, but they are like super duper tiny. And I really need to have a place to put these guys. These are my African violets that I just kind of let go of because I don't like that they don't like touching other things. So they were getting to the point where it was just too much work to keep them and too much space. So here are some stuff I just really need to organize, and I'm looking for those trays too. it's just really hard finding those. So these are my hanging orchids. I actually have quite a lot, and my dad just purchased these metal bars that he attached to the frame, and we just hang a bunch of orchids on it. I have some of them are just hanging because I don't have room right now, but and also the bushy ones that don't fit on my shelves. Okay, so this is my fern, my elkhorn fern. It's doing really well, by the way. So it got rid of that little basil leaf here, and then it put out one more basil leaf, one more, and one more right here, and there's some new growth in here as well. I also have the air plant Chris sent to me. It's all the way up there. There it is. It's really big, and I have some other air plants I purchased that were smaller when I purchased them, and now they've gotten a lot bigger. These are my Vandas. They're doing okay. They're actually doing pretty good, actually. The older roots died off, and they put out new roots, so you can see those are the new roots right here. So they are just going through their adjustment periods. My recently acquired Nepenthes. This is actually my first carnivorous plant ever. I got it for $5, and this is the last picture it has. It's also putting out a tiny little baby picture, but it will be my first carnivorous plant. I'm hoping I don't kill it. I just have some more orchids that are hanging here, and I really need to separate these guys, but these are my my Dendrobium nobilis. I need to put signs on them that says do not water, so I remember not to water them. They are going through their dormant periods now, so I have to make sure that I don't throw water all over them. So down here, these are some of the plants that are kind of bushy and they're not fitting on my other shelves until I get more shelves. Let's see, this one is in spike right here. This is one of my first Dendrobiums. Actually, I think this might be my first Dendrobiums ever. I purchased it maybe in summer of 2014. It was during a time when I didn't know how to take care of them, and I couldn't get them to stabilize, so I stuck it on this little wood piece right here. My Epiphyllums are down here. I really do the orchids on this shelf is more of like, what am I going to do with you? I haven't organized them yet, so they're still kind of like in the little weird space right here. And of course down here, look at these plants. They're really sad looking. My coworker gave off her orchids to me, and you can see that I recently repotted them. I actually repotted them so they lay sideways, and I don't like the way that they lay, but this is how they kind of grow in nature, as they grow on the side of trees. So when they're attached to the trees, they're kind of leaning, and that way the water doesn't get into these crowns. So I just kind of mimic that. I don't like the way it looks, but that is how they grow, and I think it's better that way because I've gotten quite a few of crown rot orchids because I started growing them, like having them sitting up. So you can see my coworkers just cut off all of the leaves. She said it was getting bushy and she didn't like that, so, and of course she put them outside in the summer heat. It was more than 100 degrees on some days, and mostly it was like high 90s to 100 degrees weather, and she watered them once a week, so they got really dehydrated, and these new bulbs are just not very happy. So you can see there, all these bulbs are just, I think they're gonna take about a year to recover, but hopefully they will do better now that they're with me. And I do water them either once a day or once every 2 days. Now that they're in here, they don't dry out too quickly, so I do water them probably about once every 2 days. These two are my sort of problem orchids. I'm not sure about this one. This one I got from a lady whose plants wasn't doing that well anyway. It was a division. And then this one I got for free, the Epiphyllum, which is going through its down period right now, where it's just kind of suffering. And I've noticed that with a lot of rescues is that they'll kind of suffer for a little bit, about 2 months before I can see improvements. And these are my Cymbidiums and big zygos and bigger plants. There's just no way that they were going to fit on my other shelves, so they're just sitting here. This is my first time having these, so I'm not sure if these are actually flower spikes or not. Last year I thought they were flower spikes, but they turned out to be growths, and they've gone through a really good year. So I'm hoping that these Cymbidiums are in spike this year. I'm trying to find like there it is. There's another growth right there. I'm hoping that they're in spike. So let's see, this is my cat Leah. It's really big, and I have my Epiphyllums down here. This one is also going through a period because I just recently got it. It's going through a period where it's trying to adjust to my new environment. This one I got from Home Depot. There was a little bit of a pinch that fell off the plant, and I got it, and now it's turned into this huge plant. This is the Wandering Jew. And I have some more, I think, Cymbidiums and Miltoniopsis here. I'm not sure what to do with them yet. They're kind of bushy, so I'll have to organize them somehow. And these containers, they don't fit into my my tray, so unfortunately they just have to sit out like this. Of course, my overgrown Epi is just here, still blooming from my orchid show that I went to. Let's see, I think that is really it for now. So I have the window open here. My dad, well actually I ordered bubble wrap, so my dad and I are going to be bubble wrapping the greenhouse next week when the bubble wrap comes. And in the meantime, I do have a heater. It does get kind of cold at night here, but there's nothing I can do right now because the bubble wrap isn't here yet. But when it gets here, we'll figure out how we want to do it. I think my dad wants to put it on the inside of the greenhouse, which will actually last a lot longer, but I can see that it's going to be more work. So we'll see what happens. He usually has a lot of good ideas considering he did all this on his own. So he actually I want to show you before I finish, he is growing lotus. So I think this is the white one. He grew it from seeds, and he read up quite a bit on it, and he's really, really proud of what he's accomplished. That's an airplane. Okay, so he's got some of his herbs over here as well. This is my mom's herbs, and this is her herbs too. And just to show you guys, I had one caterpillar on my orchid, and it ate part of my orchid, another orchid. I sprayed insecticidal soap on it, and I use a Bayer brand. It did nothing for this for that caterpillar. I mean, that caterpillar was really just like taking a bath in this insecticidal soap. So I'm never gonna buy Bayer insecticidal soap ever again. Of course, then I found it on another orchid, and it totally ate
a bunch of my leaves, and it actually got bigger by the time that, like, 2 weeks after I sprayed it 3 times. So I decided, since I found it, I just removed it and put it somewhere else. I didn't kill it, which now that it has insecticidal soap, it's probably going to be like a super mutant moth or something when it grows. Alright, well that is pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'd be happy to answer them if I know the answer, and happy Saturday!